Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host. Very, very thankful and grateful host. And in studio with me, my dear friend over here, Park. What up, Park?
What's up, what's up, guys?
Hey, you know what? It's all good, baby. It's Thursday. It's Friday Eve. And Parker, I'm a self-supplying Topo Chico sparkling water drinking guy, game guy. And if you would play a drinking game on the words that I myself have just butchered to include common names, you would feel better.
Whatever you just said really.
It really made me feel better. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Hey guys, we are having a good time over here, and I hope you're having a good time as well. The next 2 hours are going to be a blast. Park, I'm convinced no way we get through all the material, but every day we give it a good go.
We try our best.
And you never know what'll happen in the middle of the show.
Yeah, who knows?
It could change the whole trajectory. We could be walking into this moment all planned up, and then boop.
Yeah.
But that's what we do for our audience. You see what I'm saying?
That's what we do.
That's right. All right, guys. So Iran. Let's go to Iran. We hadn't talked about Iran in a while. That's still a thing. Kind of crazy, these military conflicts. Back in the day, we would have some of these things that would last around, months, or sustain operations, and it would just kind of be a thing, and it would be important. Less politics involved, as far as like the dialogue. There's just more trust in the operation, more trust in government, and nowadays, with 24-hour quote unquote news, and everybody's a journalist, if you think about it, everybody can pick up their phone and record and opine. There's plenty of platforms. We are at a new age in how we facilitate information through podcasts and things like that, and streaming services. We're happy to be on both. Shout out to our KLFI Plus viewing audience and our streaming folks. Speaking of which, rumble.com. Very nice. We had to play a replay last episode, but I thank you guys for being out there watching. All right, so Iran is the big story, I think, compared to most out there. I would call this one, as far as movement goes. Now, talking points and what the folks are saying on late night, that'll be a little different, I would imagine. But Trump has announced, man, I don't know if you guys seen this. He's announced what he's calling an economic D-Day. So, against Iran, by the way, Iran in practical terms, should I say? He says that the United States intends to dramatically increase Iran's economic isolation and impose consequences not only on Iran, but also on countries, on banks, and businesses that continue providing Tehran an economic lifeline. So this is this is total, well, a limited version of total warfare. You have the military component of that, but you have the economic component of that as well. We're going to break that down. It's much more than just the straight and things like that. But this is another way to pressure in war. Trump is negotiating. We'll call it that way. We'll call it that. But he negotiates with pressure. He negotiates a lot. He uses pressure a lot. Economic pressure is a heck of a lot better than our treasure, or more of our treasure and more of our blood. We want to use all the tools in the arsenal. That's what the president's doing. Now that has a lot of consequences. That could and would likely include oil transactions. Just think about that. This is Iran. Cash transfers, financials arrangements, ship registration. They have a big old operation going on in the Strait of Hormuz. Should I say operations? Front companies, you name it. This is a full court press on this. You were talking about those WNBA players, and I've been using basketball analogies since. So what any updates on that? Have any more declared in the last 24 hours?
Not that I have seen, but
Yeah,
I also wouldn't be surprised, so I don't know.
I like that G League recruitment.
Yeah, yeah,
They're just bringing off, hey, just all the teams. Everybody makes 1.4 million at least.
right.
All right, so this thing with Iran, it's not happening in isolation. This economic push, and he's been pushing the economy there, and just the sheer military might that we've this ounce of might, not a fraction of an ounce of might that we've shown. That's had some economic impacts. I mean, they couldn't even hold a dang meeting in the government, and everything's run by the government. So you couldn't even hold a meeting, a leadership meeting, without a bomb falling on them. But none of this is in isolation. You got the military pressure also in Iran that is continuing to push forward. This is not a full out invasion, not even close to it. Not even close to it. We haven't sent in formally any any troops. No formations marching into Iran, not yet at least, and I hope that's avoided. Hope that's avoided. The whole thing with Iran, Parker and crew, my team, everybody. The thing with Iran is, you got to be careful. This is a state-sponsored terrorist regime, and they show the remnant that's still there still shows no signs of changing that behavior. At the same time, you don't want to go in there full force military invasion as your first gear or first or second gear. But if a military invasion were to come, which I don't think it will, but if it were, notice also long term in that regard the strategic, I guess, the strikes that we're doing from a military standpoint, how that softens up the invasion. I would say for better words, okay, lack of better words. Then you got the economic component of it as well. So there's that total warfare. So we'll see. I am not so quick to say that we should stop what we're doing in Iran, and I'm not here to say that what we're doing is right. I have so we are not privileged with the intel, but also we have the privilege of only making the decisions and commentary based on what we have. So, based on what we have, meaning 30 years from now, we're going to know if this was the right move. It's 25 or 23 years since we invaded Iraq. We look at that a little differently than we did 23 years ago. This will be the same thing. We'll have more clarity. We'll see if this is the right move, just like the tariffs. We'll see if it's the right move. Right now, that makes a lot of sense. The tariffs made sense on how it's implemented and how it's continuing to be implemented, different scale. And what he's doing with Iran so far, I know it may not be sexy. I know it may not be something that really we even want to talk about. And this part we'll talk about when we get back. But Iran, hands down, was and is a state-sponsored terrorist regime. What was our alternative? To continue to do the same thing? To continue to have October 7th and all these things happen? No, we don't want that. So we're going to take us a tiny little break. When we get back, we'll go back to that exact topic and finish up our discussions with Iran. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We are also broadcasting on rumble.com. Go check us out at rumble.com. Look up the Josh Guillory Show, and big old shout out to our KLFY Plus viewing audience. We are going to continue our discussions on Iran. First, let me tell you about my friends over there at Giles Subaru. Parker, remember we were talking about the dog park over there at Giles Subaru?
Yeah,
That's
of
pretty
course.
neat. You got the big breed and the small breed. That is a thing. We used to have a Great Dane, and yeah, we would purposely go find the big breed dog parks. They were kind of rare. Now you're starting to see it a little bit more. They got that at Giles Subaru. So also, I brag on the showroom probably more than anything else. I just think it's so neat. They got some pretty cool stuff in there. But also, the Subarus. Go visit Giles Subaru. Get that maintenance. Get that service. Get that first class treatment with a local flair here from Giles Subaru here in Lafayette, Louisiana. That's off of Johnson Street near Ambassador. You see the Subarus, you see the national campaigns, man. Go check out some of that. Giles Subaru here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Man, we're gonna continue with the discussions on Iran. I asked a question though. What's the alternative? You have Iran that has been sponsoring terrorism for quite some time. It's now at the point where it was getting at the point where it's like, yeah, next. Hey, it was a known thing. It was, there's a lot of things you just know, and other people just know. It was known. So the president of the United States had a choice. Look, I'm telling you, life is not that hard, and leading is not that hard. You got to first start off with what's your immediate decisions. Usually, if not every single time, I'm not kidding. It's either do something or don't do something. Am I right? Think about it.
I believe you are correct.
Hey, we got a road issue. Okay, well, the first choice is we're either going to address it or we're not.
Correct.
What's your other option at that point? My CAO, Sidra Wingard, she used to fuss me. She's like, you oversimplified things. I'm like, well, that's my job.
Things just probably are usually that simple.
No, well, you start off that. Then
Yeah.
you go to the next step. And the next step is probably also just a 2 or 3 option solution.
When you have 5, 2 or 3 option solutions, people would look at it as 10 to 15 solutions, but
Yeah.
it's not.
It's
just
not.
2 solutions
Yes.
in a row.
That's right. And just pick it.
Yeah.
That's it. But it's a lot easier said than done sometimes. And I'm not knocking anybody. Look, I butcher names. It's not in common ones. Not even close.
Boudreaux, Fontenot.
I got those. I'll get the hard ones. I the most simple things. It's interesting. So, all right, but this thing with Iran, man, you had all this state-sponsored terrorism. Like I said, October 7th, the big highlight or whatnot. But there's so many more on our troops in Syria back in the day. Just all these things. So the president had to make a choice: do something or don't do something. We as a people, in my opinion, we have to collectively make that decision too. And we will, whether we like it or not. We're either going to have good public sentiment for this mission or we're not. But I believe as a country, one of our options was continue to live with Iran threatening us. And the other option is didn't say eliminate, no one has a crystal ball. The other option is trying to eliminate Iran from hurting us. See how this is not hard? I'm telling you, this is not hard. Now, there's a lot of implied task. There's a lot of things that have to go on for these things to happen. But from a leadership standpoint, you have to keep it simple because your decisions mean something and they set in motion. The bigger the organization is, the longer it takes for mobilization and ramp up from the leader's decision. That's why when we have leaders, and we have one down the street that just won't do that, well, it takes 3 years to put a shovel in the ground, and then blame the last guy for nothing. Anyway, all right. So back to Iran. Look, what are we gonna do? Nothing. Do we want? I get it. Hey, I don't want any life. I hate war. It's it's just, who wants to do that? No one, no reasonable person. Anybody that's seen it doesn't want it. I don't think the destruction's not pleasant. You don't want that if you can avoid it. We shouldn't even want the economic war that's about to be unleashed. We just want peace. But peace that we know this. Peace was not being achieved with the previous 15 to 20 years in regards to how we treated Iran. Even Trump treats Iran differently, clearly, in his second term than even his first term. You learn. You tend to learn in life, especially when you sit out for a little bit and you're looking at like, what? I can only imagine Trump in the White House during Biden's 4 years. Like, What? Well, I just had this conversation. Why are you doing it? This is how you do it. What are you doing? You got to start over. That's another thing, when you get these administrations. And the higher you go up in government, the longer it is, clearly. But a president, for example, man, it takes a hot minute to get. Now, Trump moves quicker than most, but it takes a hot minute to get settled in. Trump's transition the second time, well, I mean, he already knew where everything was. That was not a normal transition period at all. You go down to the state level, same thing. When Governor Landry got into office, his administration and that transition team that was at UL, they worked some long hours. I know that personally, very very dedicated over there. But that because of the extra work, I will say that transition was a lot smoother and a lot quicker than most. But even at the local level, you start over when you change these administrations. And but Iran, the philosophy on Iran, hey man, I'm looking at a guy that's in charge that says, I was sitting around looking at all this. I'm sitting around and knowing what I know, and you guys are just letting these terrorists get stronger and open our borders wide open. That double combo was nuts. 4 years in a row. I'm an optimist. I'm just hoping that I hope there wasn't so much damage that we feel it here in God forbid, an attack or something like that. Now, Central Command, CENTCOM is what the cool kids call it, okay, Park? If you're in the area. If you're in the hood, that's what you call it, okay?
What is that?
CENTCOM, Central Command for the military.
Okay, I
You
got
got all
Yeah.
you got all these. Think of the map, think of the globe divided up in some regions.
Right.
Well, this is like Middle East type area.
Okay.
CENTCOM, Central
Following.
Command. So as of today, earlier, about 11 or 12, U.S. forces enforcing the blockade of Iranian ports. They had redirected 65 commercial vessels. They boarded 2 and they disabled 3 of them. Okay. So can you see how that's disrupting the activity? And then also there's the Strait of Hormuz. Okay. That remains enormously important because roughly 20%, I saw someone say a quarter, but let's go with what we usually see. 20% of the world's traded oil, okay, moves through that strait, the little strip of water in Iran right there that Iran controls, basically. I mean, I would say we're controlling it right now, but Trump says the American blockade that's been in place, John Gilba at your Navy over there, but he says that the American blockade there has been extremely effective. Extremely effective. No one in, no one out. You have to play in.
Who is that? Who is that supposed to be?
That was Trump.
No, I was just playing.
It's me. It's me. I'm here. Well, but here's the thing. Trump's sitting here and doing all that, and then he announces that, hey, tip of the iceberg. There's going to be an economic D-Day. It's going to be a D-Day. It's going to be an economic D-Day. All right, guys, stick around. We'll talk about that economic D-Day and so much more when we get back. Stick around. To the Josh Guillory Show. Hey, man, go check us out at rumble.com and check out my friend over there, Dr. Kevin at Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic. That's a sharp dude, by the way. I just had some blood work done in a different mission. Okay, not Dr. Kevin's, and it's amazing. You could show him that blood work or any blood work, and he's like, for the most part, oh yeah, this, and the domino effect, and this is what it has on your body, and this is from the inside out. But that's tailored, obviously. Well, you go get a tailored approach too. Go to Dr. Kevin at Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic. Cool thing about that is, man, they got some seminars you can check out. You don't have to stick around if you don't like it, but I think you'll be amazed at the seminar. And I am N-O-T. I am not a seminar guy. I don't like it. Okay. Didn't think I'd like this one. Griped about it, complained to Jamie, didn't want to go. Glad I did. Learned a lot about stuff. Learn about ATP and energy and all that jazz. Go visit Dr. Kevin. Start feeling great from the inside out. Functional wellness. Go do yourself a treat. Dr. Kevin at Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic 93 right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Shout out to Lane. Lane. Shout out to Lane. Yeah, our buddy. So I was at the Acadiana Republican Women last night. Thank you, ARW. I love our Republican groups. I'm serious. Man, I've learned so much from them. It's such info. You go to these meetings. This man, y'all start going to these meetings. Acadiana Republican women and Florida League Republican women. It's amazing the guests that they have. I mean, they had the congressman there yesterday. He did a wonderful job. I don't know when Congressman Higgins is sleeping, okay? Because when he goes does an event, it's like 100% all in.
And he does events all the time.
That's what
I
I'm
mean, this
saying.
dude's he's getting interviewed on on the shows I do all day, then leaving and going and doing an event. I mean, that dude is always active.
But I love that, man. And he's been like that since he's been in a Congress, 10 years. I would imagine he's going to win again another 2 years. That'd be 12 years. And, about Congressman Higgins, what I respect a lot about him, and I respect him. But the term "what you see is what you get." That I wish there was a stronger and even more genuine phrase because that is very true to Clay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to Mr. Higgins, that's
it just
definitely what you see is what you get.
yeah, it's not and there in his man, I respect this so much. I don't care if people agree or disagree with some of the stuff, some of the policies. Okay, no one can agree 100% of the time. My wife doesn't agree with me 100% of the time. Then I realize I was wrong, and then
Are you sure you're not just saying that? You could
huh,
be honest.
are we live? Are we recorded? Of course I'm not. What? But I really appreciate. And this is just my opinion, but I bet you a lot of folks agree. I appreciate someone deeply convicted in their beliefs, even if I disagree with. Now I agree with Congressman Higgins, okay, so we don't have that issue. But it's refreshing for someone I've never seen an elected official at the national level for sure have that much just pure innocent love and foundational understanding of our founders and the intent and how he discusses how America was ordained in. It was anointed in. Should I say that's the word? It was anointed in, and he can do so much of a better job of explaining this than I can. But I've heard him explain that a lot and where he's coming from a lot on different issues. And some of the votes you would think like, what he voted that way, and then like on the Epstein files, only congressman to vote against that. And it was, and but he was one of the first congressmen to say, release the files and release it in a way that protects the victims. And what did we see? The one thing that Clay wanted in that bill was to protect the victims was left out. And what do we see now? Those victims in the Epstein files probably got hurt more than they were helped from a psychological standpoint, from emotional standpoint. So this is a gentleman that is very deeply has deep values. I can respect that. I got friends that believe it or not are deeply liberal. I mean liberal as a $3 bill. Okay, you hear me? But I know that, so we get along. It's fine. You have your small little piece of the pie that I understand. I'm never going to talk about because I just won't understand it. But I can respect the fact that these folks that I'm referring to now, they're deeply rooted in their values. What say you, Park?
What was that? Who was the guy that ran against Obama the first term?
Oh, the first one, oh, McCain,
Yeah, yeah,
John McCain.
yeah. Like he said after Obama won, I thought it was pretty good speech he gave. He was saying, like don't hate the liberal, I mean, there's people on both sides who, of course, could probably take it too far. But he was saying like, everybody everybody loves the country who loves the country, and whether they're on the right or the left, they all want to solve the same issue. They just have a different philosophy on how to solve it.
That's a good, yeah. And there, I know a lot of folks can be upset with John McCain on some things. And I get it. The Obamacare one, that vote, I did not terribly appreciate. I would have liked the thumbs up instead of the thumbs down. And if you know what I'm talking about, that's the clip of the senator, then Senator John McCain at the time, voting down just having a vote on Obama on repealing Obamacare. The House did a great job. Some of the folks that are serving today, the Speaker was in part of that. Was a member of the House at the time. Congressman Higgins, Scalise, several of our current folks. So they know all about it. They know all about it. Um, but there are some things that I really, really value about John McCain, and that's one of them. And uh, love me or hate me for it, but I did. I appreciated that. I think that he did try, in his words at least, and I have no doubt to believe in his actions. At least tried to find common ground. And us Republicans we at one point were really good at that. We had a great leader called Ronald Reagan. The guy that disagrees with you 40%, hey man, that's not 40% your enemy, that's 60% your friend. So go take the 60% you got and roll with it.
I don't know many people that I agree with more than 60% of the time.
Really?
Yeah,
No,
probably.
you agreed 80% more or plus. I'm telling you. And,
Maybe with some people.
here's the deal though. Let me preface that. If we I'm probably so used to looking at it through the lens of local government and
Yeah.
local issues and things like that, where really Democrat, Republican, we really do agree on what we want. Now, how we get
That's
there,
the difference, yeah.
I mean, we have a Democrat-minded mayor president right now. So, and there, look, man, that's okay. Different folks for different strokes for different folks. I ain't calling anybody anything bad, or I'm just telling truth. So that's going to be different. You're going to have increased salaries. You're going to have less capital. You're going to have higher taxes, and you're going to have wasted spending and government
Well,
growth.
yeah, let's clarify this.
Okay.
There's a sharp difference between doing things
Oh,
differently
okay. All right.
and
Okay.
not doing anything at
Oh,
all.
okay. Yes, yes. And even wanting the same things. Take the road. I know we got a break. I'm gonna come. But take the road program that it's not really a road program, but take the road projects that the mayor president says
Has
she.
not done.
Well, that's true. We don't have enough paper for that, okay? But you couldn't print off enough. But really, the actual road projects, high five, love that. That's fantastic. And I don't like coming to anybody with a problem without a recommended solution. So all I said, and I still say, when you grow, let's just take salaries. When you grow them, what 30 million this year and just 3 years ago, and 20 last year, and 10 the year before, you haven't. And I broke down just a 3 year period. If you keep the police pay raises, the firemen pay raises, and you keep the 2% pay raises to the current Manning table, that means the number I'm giving you is actually even more conservative, even more safe, even more beneficial and detrimental to the current administration. It's like $53 million in a 3 year period that we're wasting on additional salaries. Does anybody think the grass is getting cut more? No. The trash or anything else? I don't see more projects. So when we have the money to pay, 50 million is 2/3 of those projects we could pay in cash without even blinking our eye, and we don't have as much bureaucracy because we shrink government. So great project. See, we agree with it. Different way to fund it. One way is to go into debt to pay your bills for 30 years, or the other way is, can we just shrink just a little bit and then you afford it? All right. All right. We'll stick around. You stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Hey, shout out to Dr. Stacy St. Marie at St. Marie Orthodontics. I sure love you guys. I appreciate everything you do for the community and supporting the show, but also for what you did for my family and the times we went to you guys as well. And I want y'all to check them out too. Friendly staff, wonderful folks, expertise, up to date, latest technology, and they usually can find ways to fit right what you need. Okay, so go check them out. Yeah, go check them out at St. Marie Orthodontics here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Tell Dr. Stacy I said hello. Great guy, wonderful team, wonderful team. All right, man. So let's keep on keeping on, shall we? But I want to talk a little bit. There's a trade deal with Canada, but before we go there, Park, think about you. We talked about Iran earlier. Imagine being. How would you like to be a part of that regime? Like, think about it. Pre attacks, during the attacks, and now living there like this. How would that feel? Like, if you're sitting there, I mean, you can't have a cabinet meeting without a bomb dropping through it. How'd you like to be part of that?
I know I would not want to be a part of that.
If someone came to your door and they knocked on your door and they said, "Parker, congratulations, the Khomeini over there, the Ayatollah, he would like he's requesting your services. Would you like to be the Secretary of State?"
I probably say no.
You could say this, um, "Mr. Ayatollah, can I do it via Zoom?"
Yeah,
Matter of fact, they didn't want to switch to Zoom after the first bomb drop. They didn't want to, like, hey, let's rethink this whole meeting in person thing. They
yeah,
seem to have a good beat on it.
yeah. I would remote work from here on out.
We joke. Yeah. Is there a remote package here? What kind of Mr. Kamini? What benefits comes with this job? Is there like a 401k? You know what I mean? Like, I have to contemplate. And how often would bombs drop on us? Man, Iran, the Ayatollah, they have a president. It's for show. There's some administrative parts that the president carries out, but the Ayatollah controls everything. He's the supreme leader, religious leader, supreme economic leader, supreme whatever the Ayatollah wants. It is a pure dictatorship. Um, I I don't know what. That's the one thing I don't know what Trump's end state is with that, because it is kind of, if you all right. So when we first started, the Trump administration made it clear that regime change was part of the mission, part of the goals, and we're not seeing that. And now and things adjust, and you can. And Trump's style is Trump's style. Okay, flexibility is a good way of saying it. Others, in full candor, could say, yeah, he's just not doing what he said. He's just not going to do it. He said this. It's war. All bets are off. Hey, I don't know, and I don't even know how we should feel about that if that's the case. But at the same time, the reality is we're not interested in negotiating with a massive terrorist organization. So, I just, to me, there's a no brainer. It's a no brainer. It's you got to do something. Now, we'll see if the actions were correct. We'll see if the actions of the president, and the administration and the Department of War and the military and the intelligence community and all the people that had a stake in this, and our ally Israel, and there's other allies. I'm confident of it. There's no broad coalition like we had going in Iraq, but hey, what do you want to do, Park? Something or nothing?
I mean, I would always rather do something.
Yeah,
I do have a question for you though.
please.
Have you seen, or have you seen there was a tweet made by Trump, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, referring to, I think it concerned a lot of people, with maybe worrisome, but at the same time, you can see the good and the bad in it. He was talking about how he's gonna retreat soldiers that were in South Korea. Have you seen any of that?
I have not. I have not. I have not read into that a lot. That's a good.
Because a lot of people were worried because he was talking about his quote unquote great relationship with Mr. Kim Jong Un, but
Yeah, we
yeah,
write each other letters.
but it's a lot of people were like, oh, I don't know if that's the person you want to be best friends with. But then again, I would probably rather be on his good side than on his bad side. So there's both sides to that.
That is such an interesting relationship. When you look back in Trump's first term, I mean, he came out the gates calling that dude Rocket Man, like, and I'm producing. especially at the time in context.
Wasn't he the first U.S. president to ever shake hands with him? I believe.
Ever to touch, he's one of the few human beings to physically touch him. And I think that was totally done on purpose. And
Oh
not
yeah,
just touch, he grabbed his arm, put his arm around him. He also walked in the DMZ, walked into North Korea. That
yeah.
was the first president, I believe, to do that since the conflict. Yeah. So, but look, that was peace through strength. I mean, Trump was, in his own words, said he's sending the biggest armada the Earth has ever seen to North Korea, and then like a light switch, things just switched. They met. They started writing letters to each other, pleasantries. They became pen pals. Kim Jong Un didn't fire any rockets. He waited till President Biden was in office, like the rest of the world. And now I guess it's this. I doubt very seriously that the United States will withdraw troops in South Korea. So at the break we'll pull that up because I am curious now as to that. How we doing on time over there, Park?
Got a little over a minute left.
All right. Well, look, that's good because I can wrap this up. Okay, this whole thing about Iran, again, guys, we don't know. We don't know what the outcome's going to be, and we don't know what if the decisions that have been made have been the most strategically advantageous decisions. Were they the best decisions under the circumstances? Well, I say this: under the circumstances before the military operation, those circumstances didn't look really great for us. That was just like if my fear is if Trump wouldn't have done anything, man, those guys over there in Iran would have just waited it out for 4 years. They know they're not dumb. They know that we have term limits on the president. They're probably pushing a lot to not have term limits for Congress, and that's kind of what maybe like a military strategy or something. Keep us locked in Stupidville, Dumbville for a little bit. There's exceptions. I told you about a good congressman earlier. So, but anyway, guys, look, stick around. Hour number 2. That's going to be great. Me and Parker are going to go look up this stuff about Korea. We'll be right back. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our number 2 of the Josh Guillory Show. I remain your grateful host, and in studio with me still Parker. What up, Park?
What's going on, guys? That was better. I did it. I didn't mess up my words.
Hey, brother, it's all good. A plus, A plus.
You know me. I like that A minus area.
Well, you have a theory on it. You have a theory. You have it. I like A plus. Anyway, all right. Great catch, Park, on the Korean stuff. That's a pretty good little topic. We'll cover just a little bit. So this is what we found out on the Korean Peninsula. So President Trump has apparently ordered the Pentagon to kind of scale back a little bit on some operations. Specifically, the president wants us to scale back this year's major joint military exercises with South Korea. It's very common with our ally over there to do joint military operations, for example. Now, these exercise right now, this one specifically is called Ulchi Freedom Shield. I probably butchered that, ULCHI, Ulchi Freedom Shield. And they're a big deal. In previous years, apparently, they've involved tens of thousands of American troops and South Korean troops in practicing how the two countries would respond to an attack from North Korea. That's been going on for a long time. Now, this year, some of the joint live fire exercises and other training, well, they're being curtailed. American and South Korean forces, they'll continue some training separately, according to the articles that we're relying on. But they won't conduct all the joint training that had been scheduled. So a lot of folks, when you hear that, you might be asking, well, why is Trump doing that? This is what we found out, okay, on the fly. Trump says the exercises are expensive. It costs a lot of money, and he's also signaling that he wants to reopen diplomacy with North Korea leader Kim Jong Un. Trump says he expects to meet with Kim later this year. It's going to be great. He said that everybody's going to be tired of winning. Apparently. No. Hey, look, man. That's something. You know, Kim Jong Un. He seems like a very unique guy to hang out with. He's got a unique haircut. Got a unique wardrobe. He's got nuclear weapons. Huh? He doesn't go to the bathroom, apparently. That's what that
Yeah, I've heard that too.
you know what I'm saying? Like, how does that happen?
Yeah.
Jeez. He survived a human touching him when Trump did it. Like this dude is like he's something. How have you've heard of Dennis Rodman?
Of course. Of course.
The
Oh yeah, weren't they like really
they
good
they
friends?
are.
Yeah.
That's why when President Trump first got in and he was going back and forth with Kim Jong Un, Rodman was distraught. He's like, I got two really good friends and they're not talking to each other. I mean, who would have thought? Dennis Rodman, good friends with these two leaders,
Yeah.
the president of the United States and the president, or whatever you call him over there, the supreme leader, Kim Jong Un of North Korea. What a combo!
Yeah, what a combo. Dennis Rodman was probably the first U.S. citizen to touch Kim Jong Un, if I had to guess.
Do you think he touched him?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they
there's
they
pictures of holding.
yeah
Oh,
hugging
really?
at a like at a basketball game.
Oh my gosh! How did they become friends?
Apparently, Dennis Rodman was like, or Kim Jong Un was like the biggest fan of Dennis Rodman. Like there was like a picture of him like wearing a Dennis Rodman shirt.
That's funny.
Yeah, yeah, beats me.
I mean, what the heck would they talk about? And Dennis Rodman just going with the flow. Yeah, he's cool, he's a cool dude. Yeah, just hanging out.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman just does whatever.
The thing is, I think Dennis Rodman really believes that. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you think Dennis Rodman is um maybe doesn't have the best values himself, or do you think he chooses to see the best in people?
I think he chooses to see the best in people.
Maybe so.
I'm being serious when I say that. Just I'm just going off of a few documentaries there that so it's very limited. My understanding is not like we hang out, but I like Dennis Rodman. I liked him in the '90s. I always liked the guy that was gritty. The rebound guy.
Yeah, 0 points, 50 rebounds.
Like for real, man. I mean, but he could score too. But for the most
Yeah.
part, he was there for defense and rebounds. And the guy, and how he would practice rebounds. Just he would be hours and hours in the gym. Someone behind him just throwing the basketball at the goal at like odd angles, rim, and he's just sitting there reacting, getting the
Yeah, I
rebounds.
believe he had that one game where he had a triple double with 0 points. It was like 20 rebounds, like 15 blocks, and like 11 steals.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. He has to be one of the only people, if the only person to do that.
I would guess so. I'm not too sure of many others that could do that.
That's funny. That is funny. That's funny. Shout out to PCA. He's going 30 for 30. We won't talk about that. You keep up with baseball?
I mean, I know about it, but that's the one sport I'm not too big on. I feel
I
like I could leave for 2 hours and come back and nothing's
Well,
happening.
that's the thing about baseball. They call it a pastime for a reason.
Yeah.
You can.
I love playing it. I
Yeah.
really do love playing it. I just can't sit there and watch it. It's the same thing with golf. I love golfing, but I would never turn on the Masters
You
unless I'm
know,
betting on it. But you know me.
it's golf. I appreciate the paying attention of detail of the groundskeepers. So I love the grass and the dirt and the trees and things like that. So I would be the guy that could drive around on the golf cart.
But to me, it's very interesting. I know it's pretty off topic, but
It's fun. It's
it's
good.
pretty interesting to me. Um, the I feel like the harder sports are the ones that are less interesting to watch
Oh, okay.
because
So
good golfers and really like top of the line, golf players or tennis players or whatever you want to call it. But those sports to me are pretty boring to watch. And but like a sport like football or basketball, very easy to understand. Not obviously not just anybody can be an NBA player, but there's a lot
Hey,
bigger of a what mass. There's a lot bigger mass of talented players in those sports, so I feel like it makes it more interesting, in my opinion, to watch at least.
that's a good way. That's an interesting way to put it too. Maybe more people are interested in the other sports, and therefore you have a bigger pool, and that's why you have.
I can confirm that's not true with
Oh,
golf. Everybody loves golf, but nobody's good at it.
okay. Well, see, I just have a hard time. Look, to all the golfers, love you guys, love you. Got to learn a lot
I
about
love
you.
you because I love golf, but I've been playing for what 7 years now. Still just as bad as I was on day one.
Well, that's okay. I like putt putt golf. It's more of a fast paced speed. you you have more things to kind of. It's all condensed in a little area. You see what I'm saying? So look, let's take us a little break. When we get back, we'll talk more about Kim Jong Un and Trump and all the things. That was a great little point. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Go visit my friends over there at Dino's Pizza. Man, and while you're at it, ask them about the pizza of the month. They always got something going on. And Tim and his crew, they're going to take care of you. Dino's, 3 locations, Bertrand, off of College Saloon, and Henderson. And a special shout out to my friends over there at Giles Subaru off of Johnson Street near Ambassador Caffrey. Giles Subaru. Go check those guys out. They got a dog park. They have a wonderful showroom, but their selection of Subarus, it is unmatched. And we have it right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Go check them out, Giles Subaru. Back to Kim Jong Un. Do you think he drives Subarus?
I would I would guess no,
Yeah.
but I'm not too certain. I don't really know. I don't think he probably drives anything.
Yeah, that's probably true. A tank. He drove. He was in a tank one time.
You think he was driving it?
Well, he was in out the hatch. No, he was not driving it, but that's. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I
Yeah,
did. I
I
did
think he
say
probably he
drive.
probably rides everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. If he even needs to ride, the he could like transport.
I don't even like. I know on a map how big North Korea is, but it's not that big, is it? It's probably like this. It's like probably the size of like Louisiana, right?
North Korea,
Yeah,
population wise, it's way bigger than
yeah.
Louisiana.
But actual, like,
Geographically, yeah, I don't know exactly, but that's about right. I would
yeah,
say,
I think
maybe a
so.
little bit bigger,
Yeah, something like that.
but that's a good, yeah.
But
Israel's small geographically; they carry a big punch.
yeah, I could ride a horse to Shreveport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You think so? Would you take a break? How many breaks would you take?
one in Alexandria and one in Natchitoches.
Okay. Oh, so you've thought this. You wouldn't add a stop like in Opelousas and then in the
I
terror.
might get some Mama's fried chicken, but
See, you see, this man knows.
but then I'm going. But if I get Mama's fried chicken at Alexandria, I'm not stopping. I
Oh,
won't stop again until French Market.
okay, all right.
Yeah,
So you had put some thought to
yeah,
this. Okay, I
yeah.
got you. That's a plan. You have to have a plan. That's why. We'll go back to this. All right. So this Kim Jong Un thing. Don't you feel like we've seen this movie before? Sort of. We were talking about it in the break and everything. Back in 2018. Again during Trump's first term, he canceled major exercises while pursuing negotiations with Kim. So I don't think this is terribly abnormal. It's not abnormal. I don't know if the exercises were probably not intentionally designed as a negotiating bargaining chip. I would think that would not be the case. Um, but this is a guy, man. This isn't. I like this about Trump. I like Trump's flexibility. Other people may see that in this country and disagree with me. Like, hey, we need to do this. That's cool. I respect your opinion too. But I like how he's flexible. It's an attribute in a leader that I just appreciate. My 2 cents. Every leader, everybody in a leadership position will get a leadership style. If you don't have one already, it's fine. But you're going to have some kind of leadership style, and it evolves. And you would imagine it would be evolving. It should. Trump has been consistent on this, though. So, like these military operations, they've been on the books. For Trump to cancel it or tweak it, should I say, there has to be some kind of bargaining chip out of that. Something with Kim Jong Un. Hey, maybe it was getting a meeting with him. Maybe that was a little tension built up. And he said, "This is an olive branch, and this is how we'll get a meeting on in good terms and in peaceful terms and productive topics without the emotion, without the resentment." I don't know if that's the answer, but what we did find out in our quick, brief search is this has happened before. But I think the whole thing's a repeat, like Men in Black 2. I don't know if Men in Black 2 is a repeat. I've never seen it.
What exactly has happened?
He's Trump, and back in 2018 has scaled back joint military exercises with South Korea in order to negotiate with Kim Jong Un. So this is not a one off, and I'd forgot about that. Now Trump, you mentioned about meeting with him and all this stuff. Trump ultimately met with Kim Jun. Is that his full name? Is Jun his middle name?
I have no idea.
You think anybody in his life ever called him like Kimmy?
I don't think they'd still be alive to tell the tale.
That's the kind of, as soon as it came out of my mouth, I had to retract that kind of,
Yeah.
because they may have said it once, but then they have no tongue.
Yeah. Yeah. You're done speaking forever. Probably.
Yeah. Hey, good news. You won't ever have to do that mistake again. Yeah. Bad news is, we're cutting off your tongue. It's just one tongue. Hey, come on now. It's just a little tax increase.
You got 3 of them. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, why not? That's Kim Jong Un. All right. Now those 3 meetings did not end with a nuclear, eliminating North Korea's nuclear weapon program. I don't recall that. I recall Trump speaking about it. I don't think that was ever a realistic mission. The North Koreans are not going to give up their nuclear weapons. No nuclear power is going to give up their nuclear weapons. What we can hope for is to manage it. And that's kind of like the Middle East. If you think if you think one thing in the Middle East is going to have peace for decades or even a generation, even a full generation, no way, Jose. We can hope for 3 to 5 years at a time. That's what we got to manage. And this leadership style of flexibility, I know we're talking about North Korea right now, but this applies with Iran. You've seen that. If you want to see flexibility, look how he's operated. Look how he's handled Iran. I am not one of these people that are against him on that. I'm not so quick to say it was the right move, because that would be reckless of me. That would be reckless with my words, because how could we reasonably know? But one thing we could reasonably know, and we do reasonably know, and we have reason to know, is that Iran was and still will be, if given the opportunity, a state-sponsored terrorist regime. No interest at all in our ideas of Western philosophy, democracy. I still get a kick out of LGBTQ protesters supporting Iran and things like that, whereas you would not even be recognized in Iran. We could joke like, oh, you'd be taken away to a camp or whatnot. Maybe, I don't know, maybe. But I don't even think you would be recognized. It's such a thing. And those statements are said in ignorance. So we have compassion. We don't tolerate it, but we have some compassion. But I digress. Park, let's take us a tiny little break. When we get back, we'll wrap a bow on this bad boy. Stick around. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting from the KPEL Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Go check us out at rumble.com. Look up the Josh Guillory Show, and a special hello to our streaming folks on podcasts and to our KLFY Plus viewing audience. We love you all. Oh, had a nice little message. Y'all know I talk about our friends in Missouri that are tuning in. They watch in, put us on. But we hear from them every once in a while, so I appreciate it. So I appreciate all our guys because we've been talking local a little bit more, and I appreciate all our national folks sticking in there with us. Man, what's happening here in Lafayette? It could happen. It could happen where you're at too. So thank you. But I love getting those messages. Q tells me, so I see them. I appreciate them. Sometimes they're a lot in bulk. Sometimes they're none at all. But when I do get them, I do appreciate them. Angry Vulcan, all my folks, and I'm missing so many. I don't want to start listening. And Angry Vulcan's from Indiana. Wonder if he's a Fever fan. You a Fever fan, Angry Vulcan? But I love all the commentary. But yeah, I love it. And again, just a shout out to our Republican women groups. They're doing a wonderful job. I enjoyed hearing the congressman yesterday. He's it's a good group, but they have way more than just the big hitters like that. They have a lot of local state officials come through there, and it's a good hub. Hey, a lot of candidates. If you want to meet the candidates, that's a good place to go. These two Republican women groups. You don't have to be a woman. You don't even have to claim to be a woman. You just roll up in there and pay for your food. And if it's ARW, make sure you give Miss Connie your ticket. I gave her both mine yesterday. So, all right, let's go back to this. North Korea, man, North Korea is you would think like, okay, thanks, friend Trump, thanks, big DJT. But North Korea isn't exactly responding to this latest move, apparently, with flowers and a thank you card. There was like frown emojis sent, probably through Dennis Rodman. I don't know. But North Korea conducted 2 ballistic missile tests this month. Well, nothing says, yeah, take this like a big old missile test. I'm going to send me a little rocket into the ocean. I'm big. I'm a big man. I just, okay, all right. And Kim Jong-un's sister, Kim Yo-jong, said Wednesday that North Korea's position towards the United States hasn't changed despite Trump's decisions. So, take that, Trump. Don't worry. He's still drunk dialing, texting him at night. I don't know if he drinks. So let's talk about the actual debate. I'll give some substance. I know I'm being silly on some of this, but I'll give some substance. Trump sees these exercises, at least on his reason, they're pretty costly, and they are. That's a lot of money. We'll talk about that at a different time. But yeah, these are definitely expensive operations, and who's footing the bill? Then they are potentially provocative. Think about it. Now, North Korea doesn't get any sympathy from me at all, and probably not from you either. But let's put ourselves, they are a sovereign country. Let's put, ourselves in their positions. If we had, Mexico and the Soviet Union, look how we handled the Soviet Union putting missiles at Cuba. If we had the Soviet Union and let's say Mexico was really hostile towards us. Let's say they did a joint operation right south of the border on hypotheticals as if the United States would invade. Yeah, I think we'd probably have some concerns too, but get over it, Kim Jong-un. At some point, Trump's going to tell him that. But that's what I'm saying, man. I don't know. This guy, his foreign diplomacy, who am I to get in his way? I think his foreign diplomacy is strong. I think this guy, Trump, I think President Trump takes on issues that no one else would take on. He's not afraid to address Iran. I think this is a guy that says, I got one more term. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm tired of the country worrying about this state-sponsored terrorist regime who could care less about human rights and the Western world in any way. That's the so Kim Jong Un needs to get over it. But Trump does see these as potentially provocative, and he's trying to strike some deals. He wants more stability with North Korea. He wants more long-lasting agreements. How long do they last? We don't know. Maybe they last throughout his term, and the next president has to pick up the slack. We'll see. I'd love to see. I'd love to know, and I don't know this, but I would love to know what was Joe Biden's and Kim Jong Un's relationship, and what measures did Joe Biden? I mean, as I'm asking this, I mean we know the answer. I mean, to ask is to answer. It's kind of silly, but I'm asking it because it's all this. I mean, this is all. It's so all the same. The way that the one philosophy in our country right now, and it's not most of the folks. It's the leadership. Some of us, I mean, they're some of folks in our country in leadership. They're okay with open borders. They're okay with Kim Jong Un having not only a nuclear weapon, but just being unvetted, untested, unaccounted for. They have no problem with that, and I think that's very much a minority as far as we the people. But we the leadership, geez, so, some former American commanders and national security experts they have opined throughout the media outlets on this issue. Well, they have seen a real downside. No one should be shocked there. I would be questioning these military folks and national security experts. Not sure what that is. Not sure what. How do you become a national security expert? Do you have to do like interviews or something on TV?
Probably, and you probably also have to have like no criminal record and
Oh yeah,
all
maybe
that.
so, maybe so. But I mean, what? I mean, we just throw these labels out like it's just candy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I'm definitely no national security expert.
Well, I'll tell you what. Well, you don't have to be a national security expert to know the basics. Like we have to secure our border, not because we hate people, just it's protection. It's simple. It's not a, you know. And speaking of simple, the folks that do see this decision as a downside, their argument is pretty simple. Militaries don't conduct large joint exercises for fun. They say this is for a reason. These folks that, at least what we're seeing, I'm trying to give all the angles here. They say that militaries do them so that if something goes horribly wrong, i.e., North Korea invading, American and South Korean forces already know how to fight together. But it's very important to note that Trump is not canceling the joint training or whatnot. He's canceling these joint operations. It's not the first time it's happened. And because I can understand that theory, because I do agree with that. See, it's both can be right, and both don't have to necessarily be wrong. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're gonna. I understand what you're saying with these hand and arm signals. We got to take us a little break. I got it. Stick around, guys. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Hey guys, if you are a loved one or in the hospital, or you went and got treated and you're following your treatment plan, but you're recovering, and the prognosis says that well, you're going to need to stay in the hospital to recover. There actually may be some options for you. You could be eligible for home health, and if so, I want you to remember this name: Audubon Home Health. Audubon Home Health. If you're eligible to recover at home, why not? And they can find some help you out with insurance and formulary and cost and things like that. And you got all that technology, and you have the opportunity to recover and treat at the same level of care, if not even better, because it's more individualized, and that's natural. Just give these guys a call. Audubon Home Health. That's Audubon Home Health. It's a local company, and they will provide the care and attention that you or your loved one needs. Audubon Home Health. Parker, it is one of my favorite times of the whole year.
What time is that?
Football season,
Let's go,
baby.
baby. Let's
Man, I
go.
am so
Let's go.
excited.
Ah,
It's finally back.
it's back. It's
Dude.
back. Not yet. And next week.
No way, Jose. I'm counted when the Hall of Fame game is on and the Hall of Fame enshrinement for
I
pro
think this year was
football.
the best Hall of Fame game I've seen in a long time.
Oh, I thought you meant there was a good class. I didn't watch the game.
Oh, I didn't watch the game. I watched the
I'd like to
highlights.
say I boycotted it because they refused to let the Saints play this year because it's Drew Brees. They should have had the same. We'd have had the whole team there.
Yeah.
I did like Drew Brees. Of course, I liked his speech. Just man, that dude's a classy guy.
You saw the Cowboys and the Saints combined practice the other day?
We got in fights?
Like 5.
Did we start any of them?
Every one of them.
Kate. Okay, let me give my disclaimer. I don't advocate violence, but this is football. So, all right, because I'll be honest with you. I didn't know how much oomph Kellen Moore had. I didn't know what culture. I didn't know if we had that grit.
Yeah,
like,
good luck with him.
This is a man's game.
You can have him. We didn't want him.
Oh, you didn't want Kellen Moore. Who's we?
Cowboys.
Man, please. Saints
We fired him for a reason.
Y'all fired him? Who was the coach?
That was a Mike McCarthy.
What happened to him?
We fired him too.
Okay.
We fired everybody. All of them suck.
Between the two of those, well, I was gonna say between the two of those guys, one has a ring, but both of them have a ring.
Yeah. Kellen Moore has a ring?
Yeah, from the Eagles as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's right.
The whole tush push. Come on.
Needs to be banned.
You want to ban the tush? See,
but I also hate the Eagles because I'm a Cowboys fan.
Yeah. So it's a little. See, it's good. You're objective for the folks. You gave them a disclaimer. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
But it was only 3 teams that voted against banning it. It was like the Lions and 2 other teams. Parker, obviously, the Eagles themselves.
I'm such a weird dude on this. Like, I'm a defensive guy anyway.
I am too. I mean?
And I like the old school stuff. I like the 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Man, I like my favorite play in football, and I'll stand by this forever, is a 4th and goal stop by the defense on the 1-yard line. That's the most electric play, and I think that absolutely will flip a game around.
See?
If it's a tie game, the other team's 4th and goal on the 1-yard line, and they're going for it, and you stop them, the game's over. The other team won. All your morale. You just spent 5 minutes.
Oh, gosh, yes.
You're just
demoralizing
them. You just spent 5 minutes driving down
there's
the
nothing
field,
there.
And then just to get nothing. Not even 3 points.
I used to say my favorite score in football for our team, whatever that would be, is 4-0. Because don't tempt me with a good time on a safety.
2 safeties.
When you can get 2 safeties. But now I think I'm going to amend that. And now I think my favorite score is 11-0. 1, it's a prime number. 2, I'm going to add blocked field goal attempt after a 6.5 minute drive. Huh? Return for a touchdown.
Or offense scores a touchdown. Okay. Defense takes the field.
Okay.
Stop them 4 and out, and then block the punt. That gives you the game's over. First quarter, offense,
and then that's it.
Offense gets the ball. Offense gets the ball to start the game. They immediately go down, score a touchdown, opening drive of the game. Then their defense comes out, gets a 4 and out, 3 and out, and then they block the punt, get the ball.
So we got game's over. Okay. So this old school. Yeah, I get it. The tush push. I don't know. If you don't like it, stop it. It's a play. It's a football play. If you don't like it, stop. It took how much time did college football have to take to adapt to the veer offense? And then trickle that down to high school. How often? By the way, Brett Favre from Mississippi ran a veer offense and was a quarterback, and now has all these records. Or at the time, at some points in his career, had a lot of records. But he didn't really throw much in high school.
Yeah. Look. This is a topic to talk about. Okay. Well, we got about 2.5 minutes left.
Bring it.
You saw that judge in Louisiana that passed that new ruling 2 days ago?
What?
Granting, it was 16 players. I don't know on what basis he stood it on and what determined which players got it, but he gave certain players a 5th year of eligibility. Now, a couple of those players, 2 of them, one of them was an LSU player, another one was, I believe, an Ole Miss player. They were already in the NFL. One of them had played for the Seahawks. One of them played for the Panthers, but they only played 4 years. So they granted them a 5th year, and they're back into the transfer portal after playing the preseason with the NFL.
They get a paycheck.
Yeah.
And declaring for the draft.
Yeah, and they were playing in the preseason already. But they're declaring for the transfer portal.
And they're coming back?
Mm-hmm. One of them's an LSU player. Was
That is
I think his name what, Jack Bynum?
that I don't know. That is priceless. That is something.
Yeah.
Well, and you have the new rules coming out that we're seeing from the NCAA where there's no more red shirt. Every player has 5 years no matter what,
Yeah, and yeah,
and you can play all 5 years.
yeah, and one of those players was on your hat right there, Southern,
That's right, baby.
Mr. Kelby
All right,
Givens.
fam.
Big shout out Kelby Givens. I love you,
Kelby.
brother.
All
Love you,
right,
brother.
baby. Come on, blue and gold. Go Jags. Let's go.
Come on.
Let's go.
Last year preseason defensive player of the year
Come
for
on.
his conference.
For swag.
Yep.
For the swag.
Two-time first team defensive player.
Come on now.
Come on now.
Kelby.
If it's more than two, I'm sorry. Sorry, sir. But I believe it's two-time.
Representing. All right, so we got. I know we only have a few minutes left, or whatnot, a few seconds. We got some college football going on. I just love the new vibe. I love fall every year. Of course, I like all the seasons.
Cancel all the weddings. Cancel
Yeah.
all the weddings.
By the way,
no fall weddings.
Hear me out here. To Parker is doing what we call a public service announcement in this biz. I'm not saying I remember things like, grudging and things like that. I am just saying in 2007, my wife, and I love this person, so I'm joking, kind of. My wife's friend decided to hold a wedding, the LSU Florida game. In 2007, that was a big deal. My wife also told me I could wear a polo to the wedding, and I was the only one in the polo, and I never forget it.
Yeah, I've already taken off for the weekend of the Arkansas LSU game.
That's a good one.
Yeah, driving up to Old Fayetteville.
Oh, you're gonna go to that game? Oh, hey, watch Arkansas. This sounds
I'm an Arkansas
corny.
fan. Don't even say it. Don't even say it.
No, Arkansas LSU. That you throw all common sense out. You throw all.
It doesn't matter we could be 0-10 and y'all could be 10-0. It's still going to be a 3-score game. A 3-point game.
Absolutely. Yeah. And maybe even some overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Speaking of 2007 season, I was at that game too. And that was
when we whooped y'all. Not really. It was overtime, but
LSU got the opening. Y'all fumbled the kickoff. LSU got the opening kickoff. I was like, oh, this is going to be
and we sent it to overtime with what?
3 overtimes.
We sent it to overtime on the last play of the game with like a 40-yard touchdown.
Oh, I don't remember that. Yeah, but that would make sense.
Yeah,
that would make sense. Yeah, Matt Flynn and all the crew. All right, guys, man, we had a great show. Wish we had more time. Thank y'all for sticking around. Thank you for joining us. Be careful out there. May God be with you and be kind.